Good morning guys, welcome back to the channel. It's January the 2nd and I'm making my way back to JW Auto for the first time this year. We reopened today, but you will notice I am currently in my Ford Transit MSRT, which is good news because that means we picked this up just before the year was out. Ford gave me a ring. It wasn't anything catastrophic, thankfully, and I'm back in my van. I'm very, very happy to report that, if I'm honest. It did need a new battery, nothing to worry about. I still think though, 19,000 miles and just 19 months old, that is a little bit premature. But hey, it doesn't matter. We've got the van back. They've put a new battery in it. It wasn't anything more sinister. My worry was there might have been something wrong with the wet belt or something wrong with the engine, because all I keep reading and seeing is horror stories on the 2-litre wet belt driven Transit of this era. Now, I take really good care of this. I let it warm up in the mornings. I use nice diesel. I don't thrash it when it's cold, and I have over serviced it. It's already had 3 oil changes in this time because I'm trying to prevent that horrible issue that you get with the wet belt when it starts to corrode when you've got old oil washing around your engine every day and then blasting it up and down the road. From what I've seen, people that are maintaining these cars right under the schedule for the servicing are getting better results. I mean, even when they do get the belt changed, the belt is in really good condition and there's no rubbish going into the strainer, which is causing a lot of these engines to have premature meltdowns. That said, I'm just pleased to be back in the van because I didn't want to start the new year without my van. I didn't want to have to be going through more and more waiting and issues whilst they're trying to repair something that could have been more sinister. Thankfully for me, on this occasion, it was just a battery. This Transit it's important to me to have. I use it every single day as a daily. As nice as it is rolling around in the Fiesta Turbo or one of the other old cars that we've got, they're not practical this time of year, and it's not nice to want to get those cars out of the collection and use them on wet, salty roads. It's not for me. Now, Christmas, I kind of use that as an excuse anyway to get the car out and have some fun, but we're back to work. It's January the 2nd. I'm much better off being in my Transit. Now, for those of you who don't know, my Transit actually is a fully converted retail detailing shop. In the back, we had a couple of years ago a full conversion built by North Star Conversions. Now, that sent our mobile shop to sort of new heights and invitations with Ford Motor Company. We've worked alongside MSRT themselves, as well as doing all of the other shows that we do, like Takeover, Ford Fair, Ford Power Live, etc. Now, I'm going to do a full recap, if you like, of what we've had done to the back of this, because I think people that have only just sort of come to know us on YouTube don't know anything about how and why we've got this van. Now, the only reason I was going to be able to treat myself or the business to a vehicle like this, because they are not cheap, was to make sure it could pay its own way. Now, I came up with the idea that we're already going up and down the country to, you know, a fair few shows with just a normal van and a normal marquee and a normal setup. And I thought to myself, well, if that's the way we're going, how about if we get the shop to produce enough turnover, enough revenue to buy a vehicle like this, and this become the home of the mobile shop, which is exactly what we did. And 2024 saw us go to 17 different weekend venues across the country, and it worked out very well for us indeed, and we had a lot of fun along the way. So you've got plenty of that coming up this year, a lot of racetrack derived car shows, a lot of Ford shows. We did some non-Ford shows as well, and we had a lot of fun doing that. I really must say it was brilliant to get out and meet a lot of new people and give you guys detailing hints and tips along the way on all the products that we sell out the back of a Ford Transit. It's just brilliant. Anyway, I need to get to work. It's 10 to 8. I don't want to be the last one in, I want to be the first one in. And it's the 2nd of January and it currently is 1 degree. So that's not feeling like a very entertaining day to get my hands in a cold bucket of water. On to JW. So at JW, and it is the first day back to work, so it wouldn't be the first day back to work without a quick workshop tour and see what it is that we're currently working on and have been working on between the Christmas and New Year period, and what cars are getting dropped off this morning. But I am happy to say it, I am very pleased to get my Transit back. One Transit Custom MSRT in full working order, and as I say, a full video on this will be coming up in the new year, and exactly why we have bought this van, and show you all the versatility functions that it has built inside it and the full build that it has underneath it, in the back, on the top, etc. It is a very versatile bit of kit. But as I backed in this morning, I saw we've got a BMW M4 competition. So this vehicle has had a lot of work with us last year, latter part of last year. It's only just come back from Vision Designs having a full paint protection film applied to the front of the vehicle. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add another hydrophobic layer to that paint protection film and just make sure that everything is perfect before this vehicle goes away for winter storage. And then the owner, who obviously he does actually work away, he'll then have the vehicle ready and clean in his garage when he comes back in the spring, and the vehicle will be perfect. It's even down to me to drop back to the customer's house and carefully put it in the garage and put the cover back on it. So that is job number one that is already here at the studio. Right, let's go in, get some lights on. Next thing to mention is you guys absolutely rinsed us in our shop just before Christmas. We are quite low on stock. That will be getting reordered certainly on Monday of next week. But thank you ever so much for all of your orders before and during, in between Christmas and New Year. We really do appreciate every single one of you. But we've got many empty shelves, and if you guys follow us on Instagram and Facebook, could have known that was complete opposite. Only a couple of weeks ago this place was brimmed. Right, in the studio, so one Ford Fiesta RS Turbo. So this was my ride in between Christmas and New Year, and we gave it a clean a few days ago because obviously you'll have seen we've had quite a lot of stormy weather, and for me that is not something I want to put this car through. I'd much rather it was in a much safer position where it is now. Also, you can just catch in view, here is my RS 1600i engine and gearbox. So the car obviously isn't here, it's over at Martin's MJG Grits having its metal and fabrication restoration. But this is for me to deal with. So now it's a new year, I've got the engine onto a stand. If you go on Marty's video, you'll see him dry ice blasting it clean, ready for me to start rebuilding. So that is another job to add to my many list of jobs to do in 2025. But this needs to be pulled apart. It's not actually broken, but it does need to be pulled apart and reworked, re-put back together, and it needs to look aesthetically perfect because we are spending so much time on the shell. We need to get all of the ancillaries and everything else looking lovely too. So yeah, that's a little showroom, tea room, and a Ford Fiesta RS Turbo. Right, still in the workshop is project number 2, which is the Ford Fiesta 1.1 base model. So this car hasn't had chance to get to the body shop for a little while. All of the rust repairs have been taken care of, but but now we are waiting for the paint shop to come free. BMW E30. So a few of you that have already been watching this channel from the start, this is one of the cars that I featured on it from the very beginning about 7 weeks ago. The E30 doesn't have much left to do to it, but the reason I haven't updated anybody on this yet is because there's a couple of things we need to finish, and then we'll be doing a full video on all the restorative work that we've done on the E30, and we'll show you exactly what it is that we've done to get it looking like that. And it does look genuinely brand new, if I'm honest with you. Right, another job in the studio. So this Skoda Enyaq was colour changed recently by Vision Designs. Now, this vehicle was I'm going to say quite an unattractive pastel-y colour of light green. It wasn't very nice. It wasn't like that green. So this has had a full colour change, as well as all the grills put into a satin black, and as the mirrors as well. Now the vehicle's now here because we're sending the wheels off to be re-diamond cut on the edges where they've seen a bit of curbing action, and then we're going to re-ceramic coat those when they're back, ceramic coat this wrap as well as the glass, clean all in the wheel arches, then send it back to the customer. So this one, the customer came to me, I went to Visions, had a meeting with the customer, decided what colour to go for. This is the colour they ended up choosing, and I think that is a very in vogue grey at this time, and I think it could look almost painted as well. I think the wraps these days are getting so much better, but that is certainly a very nice looking colour. Now, the main reason that this car has had a wrap is because of values. Now, this used to be one of my client's sort of sub-manager's cars in his business. He paid quite a lot of money for this towards the end of COVID, when cars were scarce and there was no chips and no technology around to build these cars at a very fast rate. So obviously supply went up, supply went down, demand went up, and as does then the price. So this vehicle owes him quite a lot of money. It's worth almost less than half of that value, but it's still a good car. But the colour wasn't to his liking, which is why he contacted us and had this vehicle colour changed, and now it's here to have the final jobs done before it goes back to his house in Wales. Next up, Ford Focus RS. Now you guys absolutely loved the video by all accounts on me collecting this, and I'm really pleased you did, because that spurs me on to do more YouTube. That spurs me on as to why the first day back I'm straight on the camera. You know, I haven't actually done any work yet. It's not even 8 o'clock and I'm back on camera. But thank you ever so much for all the views and all the positive comments that you gave me on the Ford Focus RS collection. So the car's in the studio. It's had decontamination process carried out. We are going to be completing all of our masking up today. This vehicle's going to be lifted because we're taking the wheels off, and we're going to get to those all-important case sports there and those complimentive alloys, deep clean and ceramic coat every aspect that we can on this Focus. So we've got a lot to do. It's Thursday. I don't see this being done until at least Saturday lunchtime, but what a beautiful car. I don't think anyone's really made a car this stunning for what this would have cost brand new in a very long time. Just imagine, this was 25,000 quid. In 2009, 25 grand, no options. With options, they're like 26 too. They weren't a dear car. This car today is still worth just shy of £30,000 in my opinion. 52,000 miles, that's unheard of. Where could you drive a car for 52,000 miles, own it for 14 years, and it still be worth more money than the original purchase price from the dealer? Yes, it's been modified. It's got modifications. Take all that out of the equation. If this was a standard example, it'd probably be worth £40,000, especially in ultimate green with low mileage and nice service history. That's fully astounding if you ask me. There's no other brand quite like Ford where that is still a fact, and that is still something that happens, that you can buy a vehicle, use it, and I think it's safe to say the Mark II was the last one for that. I've seen and watch and monitor the prices of Mark IIIs. I don't think they're doing as well. Having said that, RS Direct are back in the game, and I have seen them dealing in some very, very nice low mileage, low owner bits, and they are going for superb money. So it's all down to the mileage and the owner's game with these RSs. But certainly if you did buy one new and you've hung on to it and you've cared for it, your quid's in. That is 100% a fact. You've got a car that will owe you nothing and you can still enjoy it, which is absolutely fantastic news. Now, I'm just going to go through the spec of this car because I was having too much fun driving it over here. So I didn't go through all of the full spec that the vehicle came equipped with. Now, it's actually had quite a few modifications in its life, and the owner, Rob, did send over some more in-depth details as to what it's got. So it does have equipped a Sabre 500 RS hybrid turbo. It's got a 3-inch downpipe, a 3-inch custom exhaust, stage 8 downpipe locking bolts, 750cc injectors, a CAIS carbon fibre induction with K&M filter, AirTech intercooler. It's got a thermostat and quality Swedish cooler, Cytec inlet plenum. That's a very, very rare thing. I think I remember that from back in the day. Summit front strut brace, Summit front under brace, Summit rear understrut brace, Summit front chassis brace. Now I'll tell you what, all those braces do actually in fact make a difference, because this vehicle feels really taut. As you go back and watch the previous video, it does feel absolutely fantastic. White line rear anti-roll bar, hard race rear adjustable toe arms, hard race rear adjustable camber arms. Goodness me. It's got a mount-tune recirc valve, a Kalmar Union lightweight flywheel and AP clutch, high flow fuel pump, and brand new 18x9 Compomotive wheels, flow formed and lighter than the original version. These are the 949 racing lightweight forged alloy lugs as well. AD08 RS tyres, which if you know your tyres, guys, you know that is a track day heaven tyre. It's got KW coilovers, 3-way adjustable, Hell brake lines, RBF 600 racing brake fluid. It's fully polybushed as well, and it's got K-Sport 8-pot brakes. Now, I've got to be honest with you, those 8 pots are a game changer in one of these. I've not driven one with 8 pots in it, but that is something else. That stops. Like, no, I haven't driven a factory car that has that braking performance ever. So yeah, K-Sports are a shout, especially on this high power Focus. So all that leads to a healthy 471 brake horsepower and about 600 Newton meters of torque, I believe. Vibrotechnics torque mount and a low line splitter kit from TRC. So that's a full spec rundown on RS56 DAD, RS56 DAD. I will pop under the engine bay and show you guys everything else that's inside it. What I will say is it's very, very tidy, this car. Very, very tidy condition throughout. You've got to bear in mind, this is 14 years old, and the brand RS, if it falls in the right hands, which normally they do last impeccably well. People have been using nice cleaning products obviously throughout its vehicle's life, because there's no premature wear on the bolsters. This is in a really, really good quality, nice looking grey. I've seen these and I've had to repair these where they are disgusting, but these, they are absolutely like brand new. So there you have it. There is our workshop rundown, 2nd of January 2025. It's going to take my head a little while to get around that. We've already got some work to be getting on with. The Fiestas are sat in their natural habitats, finished. Going to be ongoing, but you know, it's finishing on the road. Still working on a BMW 30 that we're still working on. This Skoda Enyaq, the Focus RS, the BMW M4 competition that's sat outside, and I do believe this workshop, which is our finishing bay, is in fact empty and ready for another job today. So that is good news. We have one empty space. I do believe we have a couple of washers in. That sounds like the lads are starting to arrive. I need a coffee. Let's get to it. Hope you've enjoyed our welcome back video to 2025. I've got so much more I could tell you, so much more I want to talk about, but I won't bore you to tears. I'm not going to do that. Thank you ever so much for watching. I'm going to get on with doing this Focus. We're going to blog our way through doing the Focus as well, although, you know, it's going to be standard detailing treatments from start to finish. But thank you for watching, and thank you for your support so far. That is what I wanted to say on this video. I'm overwhelmed by the amount of people that are tuning in, watching, liking, commenting, sharing on our YouTube journey so far. We are literally, as this video will go up, 7 weeks into our journey. We've got over 2,500 watch hours, 800 odd subscribers, and over 32,000 video views in 7 weeks on a brand new channel. So thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.